That's awesome. Okay. Oh my gosh. We have so much to do today. Gina, give them the list.
So we're going to talk about P. Diddy. We're going to talk about Kim Kardashian.
We tried to do Diddy, Kimmie, Chrisley.
Todd Chrisley
rhyme.
and Judy Chrisley are getting out of jail. We're going to talk about some movies. We're going to talk about all kinds of stuff.
Sex in the City.
Sex in the City.
Old and new.
The news. And Just Like That starts tomorrow night. So please join us. Grab some popcorn and your favorite beverage and sit down.
Hit subscribe. Please.
Yes, subscribe, like, share, turn on your notifications
comment,
so you know when the show starts.
Oh no, that's what I'm thinking. Like up or down. Okay, Gina, start with Diddy. We've both been watching. We've both been watching nonstop.
We
Diddy
have
stuff.
been watching Diddy, listening to all kinds of podcasts about Diddy. Just there's so much information out there. They are on day 11, by the way, and they expect this trial to go like 8 weeks. So we're only on the second week.
But they say they think it's going to be faster than that now.
I hope
faster than 8 weeks.
So much going on. So yesterday, Capricorn Clark, which was Diddy's personal assistant, took the stand. I think she was on the stand most of the day.
Interesting tidbit, Gina. How much did they pay this guy's a billionaire?
This woman made $65,000 a year.
Yeah.
It's
not very much money
for what they put her through.
Right.
She deserved $65 billion. I mean, this poor woman, and of course, you can't go in the courtroom. It's a federal case, but a lot of these reporters are just reading transcripts, so you're getting, day by day the commentary, and they have sketch artists in there, photographers, drawing these witnesses on the stand, and you could see she had a tissue in her hand. I'm sure this is just devastating to relive all of these moments. So,
and the moment, probably the second he was arrested, the weight off her shoulder.
She apparently, and Amy and I were talking about this earlier, was accused of stealing jewelry and a watch and various things. And I mean, from Diddy. And he made her take, I don't know, like 5 lie detector tests, Amy.
Under duress.
And if she was found guilty, he threatened to kill her.
He's like, your body's going to go in the East River.
In the East River. They had this meeting in Central Park. That's what I read about today. They met in Central Park because she was, I guess, so scared. Working for him was obviously
frightening. Is this going on? Is his life is in Los Angeles though, right?
No, he was the East Coast.
Oh, all this is going on in New York City.
Oh, I mean, he spent time.
East River.
He spent time in
Los Angeles.
In Los Angeles, of course, but he was more the East Coast.
Okay, I remember that.
Guy.
I remember that.
So this other rapper producer, Suge Knight, who is now in prison.
Yes.
He was the president owner of Death Row Records, and Diddy was Bad Boy Records. So they were kind of competitors, Amy.
Yes.
And I believe this Capricorn Clark, that was on the stand yesterday, was going to threaten to go work for Suge Knight.
He is serving Suge Knight is serving a 28-year prison sentence for voluntary manslaughter. He pled guilty to run overing a woman. So sad. Anyway, okay.
Oh Lord.
Yeah.
So anyway, Diddy didn't like that. He didn't want to lose his assistant to Suge Knight, his biggest competitor. So he threatened to kill her if she left. So of course she didn't. So there was she testified to the violence, the threats, the guns, everything that so many other people have already testified to, especially Cassie Ventura. By the way, sidebar, Cassie gave birth to her baby.
Oh, gosh.
Today, I believe.
Thank goodness. All the stress.
And it was a boy. She had 2 little girls, and now she has a little boy.
Congratulations.
So congratulations to her.
She's moved on, and I hope that her life is happy. Oh, wait. Do we want to talk about them? A reporter calling Suge Knight in jail?
No, I didn't know about that.
Okay, so they called Suge Knight in jail. He actually seems very nice.
Oh, really?
But he was a 3 strikes out. I just read that 3 strikes out, hence the very long and lengthy prison sentence. And they were talking about this very thing, like what you were referring to, of these guns going to like a mutual rest. They were going to meet at someplace, Mel's Diner. I swear to you, I think that's what it was called.
Oh, really?
And so they were asking Suge Knight. They're like,
"Hi,
he was going to bring these 3 weapons. Do you think he was really going to kill you?" And he's like, "Yeah, he's probably going to kill me if he had 3 weapons. Like somebody was probably going to kill me." And they said, "Did you have a weapon?" And he said, "I'm sitting in prison. I'm not going to answer that question." So it's just like everywhere you turn, like Gina said, it's like the same things happen over and over again. The coercion, the threatening, the I'm going to kill you. It's just over and over. The drugs. I'm sure she had a lot to say about the drugs as well.
It seems like they've proven a lot of things already. You know, of course, the abuse, the sex trafficking, even drug trafficking, because he would take her. I was listening today something about this. Cassie out of the country to different states. They were in Turks and Caicos. So in doing that, they would bring the sex workers. They would bring her. They would have the drugs. Yep. So all the sex trafficking, drug trafficking, all those things come into play when all of that's proven. But, you know, I was reading something about this RICO. This is what they call a RICO trial, racketeering.
Yes.
But what I thought was interesting, that whole law was created for the mobsters, really, back in this, you know,
try to trap them.
That's how they got the Gambinos,
yes.
the RICO. So, you know, you hear RICO, and you don't really understand what that means. I was myself especially.
Sure.
So now I have a better understanding about that. But it's a federal law that was designed to target organized criminal enterprises that engage in a pattern of racketeering activity. And that is basically what Diddy has done. It's, you know, it started out as you just thought, oh, there was some abuse. But no, this was a huge racketeering ring. Yeah, and it's a federal case.
And I'm waiting, Gina. Like, I wish Suge Knight, but it's just like, I think they had a good point. The guys that I was listening to, they're like, you know, a witness that's in prison for third strike, you're out for 28 years. How good of a witness is he? But like, I think he has nothing to lose, but he has nothing to gain from talking. But anyway, I think that what would be interesting, the racketeering part of it, like maybe that guy would have something to say, maybe, but more so the artists that Diddy found. That's where it's like the coercion and the manipulation and making them sign, like Cassie signed a 10-year album contract, which is really, really long. So she was just like trapped there.
She was trapped.
And she probably couldn't get out from under that contract unless she produced 10 records. So he probably did that to everyone. So I'm waiting for that kind of information.
I think it's all going to come out.
People didn't want to work for him, but like they had to.
There were threats.
And they were videoing them doing terrible things.
And did we say this earlier? The assistant Capricorn Clark that, you know, he accused her of stealing jewelry, and then he made her do like 5 lie detectors tests.
Yeah, you said that.
I mean,
and said they were going to throw into the East River.
Right. Ah.
Oh,
so
terrible.
It just
gets worse.
It's disgusting.
It's sad.
It's so disgusting.
These
and
people
sad.
were tormented.
And I told you this, Amy.
And his children are in the courtroom.
He has 6 children.
Why
with
would you
3
want your
different baby
in
mamas.
The courtroom, listen to that kind of terrible violence? They're probably
you would think their mamas
get in there and be sympathetic.
You would think their mothers would step up here in this situation and say, no, you're not.
Well, one of them, their mother is dead. She died of pneumonia, which a lot of people in his circle that he didn't like also died of pneumonia.
Tragically.
So, and she was a very young woman.
That's sad.
Very sad.
It's just, you know, a lot of people don't even like to talk about this case, and they think it's disgusting. They could care less. Yeah, this man needs to be thrown under the prison. But it's just fascinating to me that this went on for years.
I know. And is
years.
it going to be like Harvey Weinstein, where everybody in the company knew? What were their charges? Is it like Jeffrey Epstein? Ghislaine's in there. What about all the people that were participating? Like, it's like, I want Diddy to go down, but I also want all the people that participated and made this happen go down as well.
My fear, though, is, you know, I think about OJ. And getting off, and you know, I don't think he's going to get off, but I don't know that he's going to get life. I feel like I just don't. I feel like there's going to be. They've just got so many attorneys working on this. I feel like something's going to happen. Oh, he's going to go to jail. I don't think he'll ever. But I mean, come out.
Even one drug charge holds a lot.
You'd think he would go for the rest of his life, but we'll see.
Know. He's dangerous and a psychopath. Okay, next, I'm going to give this quick update because Gina didn't.
I don't know anything about this.
Okay, if you guys remember around 2016, Kim Kardashian was in Paris for Fashion Week.
I do remember
that. What? She dressed the dress for Fashion Week. She has millions of dollars of jewelry, and she had $10 million of jewelry.
Yeah,
in a safe in her hotel room, and she was robbed. And she wasn't just robbed; they tied her up. It was very violent.
Was she by herself?
I don't know if she was by herself. We could look it up. But she was, can you look that up real fast?
Sure.
But it was very scary and I mean, imagine. And it was I forget
We
how
don't
many
have
people.
producers.
How many
We have to
people?
look things up ourselves.
It was like a lot of people, like 5 or 6 or 7 people participating as why would you need 5 or 6, 7 people to rob them? But anyway, so 2016, it's now 2000. I mean, they've been in 9 years later. They finally got charged, and believe there are 8 people, and 2 got acquitted, and the other ones did get charged, and their prison sentences were from 3 to 8 years, but the truth is they've already time served. So they got charged and they got to walk out of jail.
Yes, she was alone in her Paris hotel room when she was robbed. At the time of the robbery, her bodyguard was with her sister, Courtney, who had gone to a nightclub, according to The Guardian. So
Terrifying.
the robbers took millions, as Amy just said, of jewelry, engagement ring, and she feared for her life. That's
so other interesting things about this is, one, I'm so glad they didn't kill her. That's terrible. I'm not a big Kardashian fan. I just don't watch it. But
you don't want this to happen.
I don't want this to happen to anyone.
No.
It's terrible. And this is interesting. The gang, they were like, one of them, the head guy, was 69 years old.
Oh,
it was
kidding.
like this weird case of like senior citizens robbing people.
The boomer gang.
The boomers. And so that's very strange.
That is very strange.
That and that they don't have to serve any more time. They're done.
Really?
They're done. Oh, and another interesting fact is one of the gentlemen that was robbed her was hearing impaired, and he wrote her a couple notes of apology throughout this process, and that she accepted it and accepted his apology and forgave him. She said, but even though she's a big advocate for people wrongfully in prison getting out, she's like, I'm very much for people who have done wrong to serve time. Oh, sorry,
is this what encouraged her to go to law school? Did this happen before? I mean, she went to law school. She has a law degree now. Kim Kardashian.
I can't remember.
I don't know if this was.
I remember she was in Trump's office, and she helped facilitate a couple people. Like maybe new DNA came in.
Right.
Very, very 2016,
hard. She was robbed. I think she went to law school after. I think
very hard. If you are in prison improperly, all the stuff that got you there is improper. It's very, very hard to unwind that. DNA unwound a lot when DNA became available. But anyway, so she has gotten a couple people out of prison.
Yes,
that were wrongfully accused, which is
right. Let's see.
And Gina,
she started law school in 2018. So I think this whole incident in Paris is what motivated her to go to law school, so she could.
Perhaps.
I'm just thinking it might be.
Okay, Gina, we have a great leeway.
Speaking of
getting out of prison.
I don't know if you've heard, some of you may not care, but the Chrisleys are coming home. They were pardoned. Todd and Julie Chrisley.
Right here from Atlanta.
Right. Chrisley knows best, but they left Amy and they moved to Nashville when all of this went down. So they were accused of tax evasion, bank and wire fraud, conspiracy, and they were convicted.
Yes.
They're not denying that they did some wrong things with their money. However, they were given very, very harsh sentences, and they claim his daughter, Savannah Chrisley, has done a podcast. She's been a huge advocate for trying to, for prison, the conditions in the prisons that they're in were horrible. She's been, talking about that.
Are they in Atlanta? Because they committed the crime. They're in
the dad is in, Todd is in Pensacola.
I'm sorry, but if you ever watch that show, he's not going to hold up very well.
I just want to see what he looks like when he comes out, because there's no Botox in prison and hair dye. And Julie was in a Kentucky place somewhere in Kentucky, a women's prison. So yeah,
he got sentenced to 12 years, and she got sentenced to 7,
which was very harsh.
Yes, I looked it up. Most IRS, white collar crime kind of stuff. It's like 3 to 5 years. 3 to 5. And so it's like Martha Stewart. You know what I mean? Like, give me a break.
Giudice from Real Housewives of Jersey. She and her husband both went to jail for that at separate times. But I think they were both in jail a couple years.
Husband.
That's what I'm saying. Teresa and Joe.
Yes.
Giudice from Real Housewives.
I didn't recognize the last name.
Yeah, I don't know I think it's Giudice. And I did watch the Jersey Housewives.
And it had to do with banking and borrowing money.
Same kind of stuff, but I don't think they went for more than 2 or 3 years.
They owed the IRS $500,000.
And Joe, the husband, has been deported. He's in the